Hello everyone and welcome to the Man United Agenda. Today we're going to discuss the rumours of Brendan Rodgers being linked with the Manchester United job. I'm joined here today by OMONDI. Welcome OMONDI. I'm glad to have you with me for this discussion. Something that has really come out of the blue in the last couple of hours is a number of sites are reporting that Brendan Rodgers has come to an informal verbal agreement with Manchester United to take over the role from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, let's just bear in mind this is speculation, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as of now, is still our manager and has not been dismissed from his role. How do you feel just from the top line on that, Monday? Would you be happy with Brendan Rodgers?
I think he's I'll be happier than Ollie, yeah. I think he's a lot better, more experienced. He's proven. Nearly won a league with Liverpool a few years ago. I'm really impressed with him. That's when he really sort of came into my sort of vision as like one of the top managers out there. When you talk about British managers, I think he's one of the best British managers out there. I think West Ham have got David Moyes at the moment. Obviously, we've had him, so we can't go back there, you know. And the thing is, there's a few question marks about, well, Brendan Rodgers, does he fit the bill? There's so many, does he tick all the boxes and things? The only thing I'd say, maybe he used to be ex-Liverpool manager. That might be an issue, but not to me. It doesn't make any difference to me. I think Matt Busby, did he come from Liverpool or some sort of connection? It doesn't matter, things like that. I mean, it's not like his last club was Liverpool. But Brendan Rodgers, I must admit, is a top manager. Like what he did with Liverpool, what he did with Swansea, the nice football they play, what he's done with Celtic, what he's done with Leicester winning the FA Cup and getting them up there top four majority of the time. He's a good manager, and he's clearly, I think, better prepared for a big job than Ollie is. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I think the big stigma that's going to be hanging around this is the Liverpool link, and I think that'll be something that'll be discussed by a lot of our fan base, that this guy lived and breathed Liverpool Football Club for 3-4 seasons of his career as a manager, and obviously that's going to be a difficult one to escape. But when you look at his managerial record, and it's going to hit you with a few stats.
Yeah,
in total, he's managed 614 games. He's got a 53.4% win rate, which is 1 and 2 essentially, which is a very solid win rate. And I suppose we've talked many times here about the patterns of play and the lack thereof. And I suppose we would expect more of a game plan under somebody with the likes of a Rodgers. And as you say, I suppose he would be a definite and definitive upgrade on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The thing is, though, I suppose you cannot dismiss it completely, because there's usually no smoke without fire. These reports are obviously being generated from some inside source. But you have to feel for Ollie, if this is happening in the background and he hasn't formally received a conversation from our board that, listen, we're looking to replace you. I'm not sure, does that, even though how I feel about Ollie, does that sit well with me? How do you feel about that, Monday?
Well, I think in a big job like this, you have to perform. And if you're not performing, then there will be moves made to sort of get a little backup. We can't just say, oh, we're going to sack somebody and not have anything lined up. It's not just like one result. This has been going on for a long period of time now. And when I say long period, I mean this season, for example. Even last season, I think you always have to have that backup. Be looking, preparing, scouting, looking for options, you know, just in case. So I think any sensible football club would be looking for backup. Even Klopp right now. Klopp could decide tomorrow and leave Liverpool, and he's supposed to be the best manager out there. Today, Liverpool should have a backup just in case something happens, you know? You never know in football. These things happen all the time. So But to add to that, with the poor form and the pressure that's been put on Ollie this season, we're now, I mean, Arsenal won today. We now have dropped him down the table. It's not looking good. So I can imagine for the last few weeks, at least, the board or the club management, they've been looking and scouting for someone. And like you said, there's no smoke without fire. Something's going on behind the scenes. We're getting loads of rumours coming out. We don't know. I mean, we're just speculating here, clearly. But when you're throwing in names like Rodgers and these are better, more qualified people than what we got at the moment. And the more I think about it, I mean, you shot me with the news earlier. We were texting and you told me about Rodgers. I thought, okay. But when I've had time to sort of soak it up and soak it in, and I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, he would be good. I've always respected him, always liked him. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see and what the people think as well. The comments are coming in. It'd be interesting to see what people think about him as well. Because at first, the Liverpool thing, let me just clear this up. The Liverpool thing don't matter to me. Doesn't matter, you know. Look, he had Paul Ince, Michael Owen. Certain players in recent years have played for both clubs. It doesn't matter. This is football. It happens. It's going to happen. And when it comes to management, Liverpool fans might say, what are we worried about? They might say to us, oh, you got our seconds or our rejects, you know. It doesn't matter. We just need to improve, you know. It's clear as day, you know. But I'm down with Rodgers. If we get him, I'm not going to complain. I would like that, actually.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose the other speculation out there was that he was believed to be the heir apparent to Pep Guardiola at City once Pep comes to the end of his contract. So it would be another nice one to steal from underneath City's noses, wouldn't it, if we do go ahead with it? But I suppose specifically from the point of view of the treatment of Ole, would you think that if we are moving on, that we should have done right and said, okay, Ole, we're going to have this conversation with you and we're going to put into the media, your time is at an end, and dismiss them and be upfront about it?
Well, I want you to answer this as well, but the answer is no from me. I think we don't know. Look what I'm saying. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe they've said to Ole, you need to fix up. Clearly, you know, I start a new job, I will have appraisal meetings every month, you know, go and meet the board and say, how you getting along? How's things? And if you're honest with one another, you say, look, we're not happy. This ain't going right. This ain't going right. We provide you with A, B, and C to do the job correctly, and maybe it's not going to plan. And we're letting you know behind the scenes, we're actually looking for a backup. So fix up, or we give you a target to reach. And if you don't action these targets at this certain point, then we will be looking. So Ollie should know that maybe there is something going on behind the scenes. He can't be naive enough to think in this football world, which is ruthless, actually, you know, that he's got that sentiment where people say, oh, Ollie's your job's safe. It's not safe. It's not safe, especially when you're losing to big time rivals and dropping down the table fast. You agree with me?
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose, just to say, we at the United Agenda will be giving away a Bruno Fernandes signed shirt at 1,000 subscriptions. So if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and keep it here for all your United news. But as you said, Ollie will obviously have had conversations. And I think we said it in the review show yesterday. The report card came in and he was at a D. And the only reason he managed to get a passing grade was that he retained his position in the Champions Cup group, and that we're still fighting to get out of that group into knockout football.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a quick look at the comments and see what the people think.
Yeah. All right. We've got top boys coming through now. We've got Scott. How you doing, Scott? He says, I think Rodgers is the right choice. He can set up a team properly and utilize our squad and key players. Bam, bam, bam. Punching there. Good punches. And landing clean and connected. I like that. Rusty Sawblade says, he'll be getting scouts all over the place. Connor, who was on the show the other day, big man Connor, how you doing, bro? He said, don't think Rodgers is the answer. Okay, give me Rannick. He instead better fit overall and can move up to DOF down the line like Red Bull Leipzig. Hello here from Bath Time. How you doing, Bath Time? Hope you're having a great time today and over the weekend and recovering from what happened yesterday. Big up, bros. Big up, Ankik. How you doing, man? Watched your show yesterday. Brilliant show. Chelsea, almighty Blues. Big up, man. Bath Time says Rodgers is okay, so just okay. He plays a 4-2-3-1 and knows the league. That's what we kind of currently playing at the moment. Yep, totally agreeing. Punching again. Ankit says, But I thought you needed someone like now, ASAP. Surely Leicester ain't going to let him leave anytime soon. We can come on to that. Remember that one. We're going to come back to that. It's a good, interesting one. Bath Time and Vaughan says, might be interesting to see if he can replace De Gea with Schmeichel. Didn't Schmeichel used to be at the club? Was Schmeichel Casper at the club once? At Man United? Was he once at Man United?
He might have been in his early days, but he would have came through the Man City setup early in his career, so he would be in Man City.
The quizmaster should know these things. I'm just asking the question. Robin says, Brendan Rodgers, my biggest fear of him is that I simply don't believe there's any way the players are going to accept him. Oh, interesting. Devils United said, big up Kevin, big up Omondi, big up Maisie. How are you? What do you think about this news, Maisie? Bath Time says, it means if Rodgers has committed, they can plan for the summer transfer and contract renewals. Okay, that's good. Rusty Shawblade, apart from the FA Cup win, how has Rodgers been better than Ollie? Okay, I can answer that. We can get back to that one. Has won back-to-back all right, there we go. Back-to-back has won back-to-back trebles, says thing in Scotland. Okay, they're having a discussion here. Hi, folks. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Yay. Let's just get here. Okay, there's a discussion here about Ollie versus Brendan in the comments. It's going off. It's going off. I don't know. Someone's on the ropes. Someone's getting their ass whooped. Okay. It's enough jokes, Scott here. Arctic Man says he's a decent. So he's a lot of decent here. Decent manager, but can't get excited about him coming in. He is nowhere near the top 3 manager in the league, and that's our competition. Oh, our competition. Oh, you are. Rankin is just a German Bielsa. He's a myth. I've heard a lot of good things about him. There's going to be big arguments in here, man. Chris says Rodgers had top 4 within his graph last 2 seasons, but he failed to capitalize on it. He's a bottler. So there's a lot of question marks here. Zizou is the first choice for Abdullah. How you doing, Abdullah? But Rodgers is fine with him. Yep. I get it. Ollie has to come to an end. No argument there. Don't think Rodgers is any better than Ollie, though. Oh, my God. I'm really surprised, guys. There's a bit of doubt, question mark. Chris says, doesn't matter what the manager we want. The Glazers will cherry pick your man, and you get a yes man in. Big up Mr. B, man. I don't know what you think, Mr. B. I want to hear what you have to say about this. And Yank saying Rodgers has said he doesn't want to come till the summer. Ranić can come now, be better solution, rather not go with a caretaker for the rest of the season. We don't have to. The end. Or is it the end? No, Mr. B says Rodgers is a yes from me. The man from Del Monte. Oh, my God. The man from Del Monte says yes. Mr. B. Rodgers joined Leicester mid-season. I think the law of Ronaldo might pull him in. Okay. Ten Hag, Ranić, Zidane. These are the other selections. And all right, I'm going to stop it there. Let's get back to the chat. Big up, guys, for all the comments. It's very interesting. It's up and down. Who knows? I thought people would be more convinced that Rodgers would be better option than Ollie, but there's a big argument in there about it. Yeah, sorry. Let's go.
Absolutely. As I thought as well, I thought they'd been excited by possibility of a change because obviously we're not exactly functioning as a team this season. But I suppose just come back to the Zidane point. From what I've read is that Zidane doesn't really want the job. He wants to be the France international manager.
My lips are dry. Stop it. Stop. Slow down.
And I think it was either Mr. B or Talking Mew said it. If we're a job that he wants to settle for, bugger off, we don't want you because we don't want to be anybody's second choice pair of underwear, to be honest with you. In terms of Ten Hag, again, he's a guy that excites me in terms of what he could potentially do with the club. But I think the stumbling block with Ten Hag now would be that he's not going to leave Ajax mid-season. He rejected a job last year because he came up mid-season, and I don't think he's going to change his form in that regard. Ranić, he's at Spartak Moscow, I believe. It's where he's operating as a kind of a director of football role. And I think what the speculation around him would be is that he'd take over team management for 6 months because he's in his 60s, is from my understanding. And then he would step into a director of football role while also identifying who would come in as the actual on-field manager. But I suppose to go back specifically to the point of issue today, which is Brendan Rodgers, you pulled up on as an issue about his tactics of how he wouldn't be different to Ollie. And I think he wanted to come back to that and actually make a statement. So over to you, Mr. Omondi.
Okay, so someone was saying in the comments, I can't remember who, they said he plays a 4-2-3-1. That's what Ollie's tries to play, but I think he would be more effective because he's been proven to do it. There's an argument also in the comments as well. I'm not the final word on this. I think just putting it out there, guys. I think there's an argument being made that what makes Brendan Rodgers better than Ollie. I think for one, he's more experienced. He's won trophies. He's not been relegated. He's done well with Swansea. He's done well with Celtic. Granted, you're going to do well up there, but my idea of measuring bar for success is he has to win a league. He won the leagues, and he done okay-ish in Europe, you know. And with the utilised players he had, there's a smaller market there to sort of purchase players and everything else. And some of the players, like you've seen the guys come down to play for Brentford, the Norwegian centre-back, Aya, or whatever his name is, Edwards, all these sort of players are playing for Palace now. They turn out to be decent players. I don't think there's any argument. I think Brendan Rodgers is more proven than Ollie, so leave that out of there. And when it comes to the formation as well, I've seen Brendan Rodgers. The difference for me is, like, obviously, I look at it like this. When I listen to a man talking, I can assess or make a judgment to say he knows what he's talking about. I've listened to Brendan Rodgers plenty of times. They've had a Fly on the Wall documentary at Liverpool with him. I've heard great things. I even know a guy called Ted Dell, who was a coach at Chelsea way back. He's a youth coach, and he coached us as well when we were kids. And he's told me some great things about Brendan Rodgers as well from years ago. You know, he said this guy's going to be a good manager, everything else. So in the football, in the circle, everything else, Brendan Rodgers is legit. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Obviously, we can have a discussion about it. So I think he's proven what he did at Liverpool. I'm going to say this now. I might get OMONDI of the week this week. I'm going to say this now. I remember I was on holiday and Liverpool had Suarez, Raheem Sterling, and Sturridge. And I was like, wow, really impressed. I remember one Christmas they played a game around that time. And I was thinking, Brendan Rodgers, what have you done to his Liverpool side? They are playing some of the best football I've seen. Just standard football. Look, you call me, I'm not tribal, one of these guys. I just love the game, football. And to the eye, the way they played that season when they nearly won the title, I thought, wow, go on, Liverpool. This is really attractive football. And it's what I wanted to see from my team, you know? So I give him credit for that, you know? So there's many factors that I think to say where Brendan Rodgers can make the system work for us, and where we're seeing what the issue I have, where we're seeing indecisiveness with Ollie about certain things. For example, Bruno Fernandes, start back here. Your starting position should be a lot deeper, and you build his team. Just for example, look at De Bruyne yesterday. He was coming so deep to get the ball, and it wasn't like I do what I want. That's what he's told to do. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to get the ball, pick it up in areas where they could build as a team and be effective. So there's certain things Brendan Rodgers would dictate the way that we played, unlike where Ollie is unable to do that, you know? And also he's got a great eye for a player. We've seen that at Swansea, we've seen it at Celtic, and we see it at Leicester now. He's brought in such good quality as well. So I'm going on a bit, but these are the factors I feel that he would be trump Ollie in all areas, in formation, strategy, scouting players, and knowing how a style of play, system of play, which will definitely improve what we got at the moment.
Absolutely. I suppose there's a few more comments there that are catching my eye as they're flying in. Big up to Chris. He says the Glazers won't want a director of football that has football ambition. That's an interesting viewpoint. You might elaborate a bit in the comments for us, Chris, as to why you think that. I would be interested to kind of maybe get into that later on. Robin, a great comment here. I think personally, personality is really key when it comes to our next manager. We really need to change our mentality. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. We're still too frail right now. Ollie has instilled some core values, but it's not enough. That is a great comment there. Paris, I'm shocked there's been zero indication from the board. Sack him already. It's been over 24 hours. Yank, Ten Hag is his choice. That's who he's going behind. He beat BVD, presume that's Dortmund 4-0, and said we could have been better. That's a great mentality from Ten Hag. The issue that he has with him, though, is the overlapping centre-back. Well, I suppose with the issues that we have with our centre-backs, is that something that we're going to be worried about at this point? That's not going to work in the Premier League. Fair enough.
It worked for Sheffield United first season.
But he's a good choice. And then we don't know how he's going to adapt to Manchester United either if he was to take on the role. So we have to be open-minded in that regard. Chris, they haven't sacked him because they will have to wait until Monday when the market opens. They are required to announce it as soon as possible because of the market. I get the concern. I think he's a smart enough manager to know that he can keep the same and what he needs to change. Fair enough. Chris, again, he bottled it for Liverpool. Oh, a Monday.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. No, wait. Let's have some balanced view here, yeah. Chris, come here, man. Come, I'll give you my address. Just come round and talk, right? Or I'll give you my number. Let's talk about this. How can you say you bottled it for Liverpool? This is a Liverpool side that hadn't won the league for so long. About attractive football and almost won the league, almost won the league against these giants with money and all this kind of thing, So I thought, don't talk about bottle it. That's just banter. That's like Liverpool Man U banter. They bottled it, but I think they played attractive football. You got to play, they brought in Sterling, who's gone on to be a great player. He linked it up. He gelled the whole team and had them playing a really attractive style of football that almost won the league. To me, that's not bottle it. That's overachieving, in my opinion. But absolutely. You can come back at me.
You would think so, but Klopp, Guardiola, etc., never really changed the system until the pre-season. Interesting point there. Sarragon, Rodgers is like Poch. He's a hearty guy, a level below Tenag, the giant killer, crucially. Leicester will take us to the cleaners. I presume what they mean there is that we're going to have to pay some Benjamins for his services. Only Conte has adjusted midstream and won a title, I think. Big up Ankle. Rodgers is not his first choice, but I genuinely think he's a proper coach and he will be playing far better football. And he's grown in stature. Now, since he has left Liverpool, he has done great things, albeit up in Scotland originally, but he has won a cup, and we cannot discount that. No, not an ex-Scouser. And here is the side. I mean.
Come
on. Paris again. I'm shocked that there's been zero indication yet. We had that already. Are they waiting until Christmas? Back time. He's an upgrade on all everyone, but then again, so is everyone. He says, but is he the right man for our job? I think okay.
He started so well. He's an upgrade. I'm saying, yeah, he's an upgrade, but so is everybody. It's like, okay, all right, that's good. Just here we go again. It's like no Scousers. This is like a tribal thing again. He's not come directly from Liverpool. German managers are dominating the era. This is why aren't we going for a German manager? Okay, it's a good shout. Big up Barman. Snow against the Scouts. We will never accept, this kind of thing. I elaborate. Recent reports suggested the Glazers didn't want Conte as he didn't meet their corporate demands. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. Ankit says if Rodgers doesn't want to come before the summer, I would have Ranerick as interim, and he can be made the DOF director of football in the summer when we go for Rodgers and the Ajax coach, who I'm not going to try and pronounce. I always get it wrong. And Robin says, I don't mind Brendan from a tactical standpoint. Good shout. He's an excellent manager. That's two ticks. However, he struggled in the exact same situation as Ollie. In crucial moments of the season, he's failed to deliver. With what? With Man United's resources? I don't think so. He could make good points. Randrick has said he does not want to be interim. If he comes, it will be for a bit. Okay. Guys, you've got so much info here. John Kay says, we'll never accept ex-Scouser, even after 30 years. Agree with about Brendan, struggling in the same situations as Ollie, but he never had to. I've just said, okay, we're on me and Bath Time, we're on the same page. I respect you, Bath Time. Even though I shower a lot of the time, I respect Bath Time, yeah. That's agree with most of your points, Amondi. His experience, I like the tactical and attacking style, etc. But there's always a but. But can't help seeing him as a bottler. Definitely not my first choice. And finally, this will. Oh God, they keep coming. Jeez, stop! Slow down, guys. It's only speculation. Jesus Christ. You know what? Forget you guys. I'm just gonna put them out. You guys can read them. Let's finish. Come on. Let's go. I'm not gonna read them. You guys, yeah. Good points. Just one thing, man. This is like risen some sort of mayhem in the comments. It's chaos in there, guys. People are arguing with one another. People are disagreeing with the panel. People are questioning each other about this. This isn't interesting, is it? But the one thing I think we all agree on is that he's a step up from Ollie. I think that's unanimous in the group and in the chats as well.
I suppose the one thing we have to kind of really break it down to is, if we really need and want change, do we have to kind of set our sights into what we can get now and set a time frame in place for what we are looking to do in the next 6 months, 12 months, and 3 seasons, and say, do we opt for a manager to try and get us into the top 4 till the end of the season? Or, as I'm sure Solo's shouting from his workplace today, is keep Ollie at the wheels, because Solo is a big Ollie fan.
Just a quick shout here, David. I'm a big fan of David, the real pundit. Reason I say that because we're good friends. Big up, David. It's nice to see you on the show again. He says anyone is better choice to be United manager than what we've got in the moment, basically. Yeah, like everyone's agreeing on this. So, yeah, just quickly, I just want to say, look, when we talk about getting a manager in, we've seen what's happened at Tottenham. We've seen who else? Norwich manager got sacked. But I'm sure these guys have, like, made the decision knowing that, right, we're not going to sack a guy and just wait around. Oh, let's just see if the phone rings, you know? It's not going to be like that, because the phone might not ring, and then you're stuck with some, like, caretaker boss, you know, which is going to be detrimental to the team, you know? We are in a bit of a crisis at the moment with our defeats, with our form and everything else. So we need to plan this properly. And we pay, look how much we pay. We're the biggest club in the land. We have biggest stadium. These guys getting paid. They should be doing a good job. So hopefully, whatever the decision is at the end of it, it's going to be a good job. And if it is Brendan Rodgers, it's a good job because it's better than what we got. As simple as that. Let's just leave it there. Everything else we can discuss and go back and forth and bump heads all day about it. But yeah, it's a big one, man. It's a big one. I like Brendan Rodgers. I've always liked him. I'm no disrespect, man. Forget the Liverpool connections and everything else, because Peter Beardsley went to play for Liverpool, you know, and he started at Man United as well. There's so many sort of, you could connect the dots all along the line and say, right, even like, what's his name? Oh, God. Who's the guy? I can't remember. It will come back to me. There's a lot of players that have some sort of connection along the line. Oh, I lived in Liverpool. Or I went to a Liverpool game one time. Or my dad supported it. It doesn't matter. You know, we want the best for the club. It's not going to be like, what, you're going to start booing Brendan Rodgers because he wants you to manage Liverpool and didn't win anything with them anyway. You know, it's not like they bust us up when he was manager. Come on now. I'm not down with that one.
I think on Monday, I suppose, this debate can rage, I'd say, for the whole night, looking at the comments, the way they're coming in. But I'm going to come to you for one last point, and we would like to see you continue in the comments after the live ends, because this is a very critical time for Manchester United, and I think we as fans would like to get our views across. So make sure you're hitting that comments after we finish up today. But on Monday, yes or no, do we move on Rodgers if he's available and appoint him as our next manager if the time is here?
Yeah, well, one of our greatest managers of all time, Matt Busby, he's connected to Liverpool, as it says here with Sargon. I'm getting addicted to these comments. I just can't stop. I can't stop. Leave it alone. I'm like an addict now. I'm a fiend for these comments. I want to have to interact so much. Anyway, let's just break this down quickly. Yeah. So I think Brendan Rodgers gets a yes from me. The man from Del Monte says yes. We would take him just strictly because I think he would improve us. He's done it in the Prem. That's strictly enough. Forget about playing in Norwegian League or Scottish League, whatever. He's done it in the Prem, and he's been proven with the resources. Imagine with the pound for pound what he did with Leicester. Imagine with the resources he has with Man United, given 2-3 seasons, and we've reached a plateau now with Ollie. But he would build on that, I imagine. Not just that, as a player, I would like to play under him because I like how he talks about you're beautiful human beings and bigs you up and sweets you up. It's a psychological thing. Remember that thing he tried to do with Sterling, open the envelope and all that kind of thing. It was, whether it worked or not, it's a psychological thing to get the best out of players. So suddenly we might see Martial skinning teeth and smiling and happy. Who knows? But it's all about getting the best out of players. So that's another reason why I like him, because I think managing all these big time, wealthy professional footballers. It's a difficult job, and he's obviously worked on it and understands how to get the best out of people. So and get the best, maximize someone's talents. And it's been proven with look at Leicester side, what he's done with a lot of players there that were probably unknown prior to this, and he's got the best out of them. You know, so fair play. I would say yes from me for Brendan Rodgers, but I'm not saying he's the main man. I'm just saying he's a better man.
Absolutely. Very valid points there, Monday, as always, from the Quizmaster. And if you are looking to take on the Quizmaster, don't be afraid to get into our messages, and we will get you into the hot seat. The Quizmaster is waiting to give you that grilling of a lifetime. But in terms of Manchester United, and to sum up, I do feel it's time for change. I do feel that we need to have it worked out carefully and properly. We have 2 weeks, if we are moving during the international break, to make the right appointment. At this stage, it has to be made if we are to rescue our season, I believe. Would I reject Brendan if he was appointed our manager? Absolutely not. I think it can only be an improvement from where we are. It will be interesting to see how he would interact with the big personalities like Pogba, Bruno, Maguire, all our main key players in the squad, and see. Now, the other interesting one would be, would Donny van der Beek finally get his shot? But for me, if he was appointed, I will endorse him and I will support my team in their endeavours. But I suppose we could go on all day. We have been the Man United agenda. You have been absolutely fantastic in the comments, and we will be out there with you after the live ends. And so the debate will rage on. Thank you and good evening.
Bye.